This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into it. So 50 Cent is kind of like an evil genius. He's had a break in his crew, G Unit, where, you know, it started off with the game going against the unit. Then Buck, Buck left, and then, what's her name? The girl. I forget her name, but Olivia, yeah. Then eventually Tony Yayo and Lloyd Banks. And, you know, they came back together, then they broke up again. But one thing I did notice that 50 Cent always does is that when people in New York had problems with their crews, he would always take a meeting with them. I think it all started with... these two happened around the same time. Actually, three of them happened around the same time. Remember Remy, she had a public falling out with Fat Joe, saying that he didn't promote this, didn't do that, didn't support her record, and she left Terror Squad. Fat Joe, you know, obviously responded to that it was ludicrous. Remy Ma, even that led right up until when Remy Ma went to jail. But 50 Cent took a meeting with her, and even on the radio said that he would be very interested in working with her. Obviously, she was under some sort of contract where she couldn't go sign with 50 Cent, but he did meddle in that and did have a meeting with her. Around the same time, Camron and Jim Jones had a public falling out. And around that time, 50 Cent was going at Camron. Camron was going at 50 Cent for his comments about Koch records on the air, which didn't really make sense because he would have been talking about Prodigy as well, because Prodigy was over there. But, you know, I think Camron just wanted to pick a fight with him. From what I heard, the real back then, Camron was paid to do that by Koch, you know, to raise more awareness. He said they gave him 2 Benzes or something. But Jim Jones took a meeting with 50 Cent, and they talked about doing business together. Shortly after that, we all know J Hood had his problems with D Block, and he sat down with J Hood to talk about that. And lastly, Max B leaving Jim Jones. Max B sat down with 50 Cent to talk about doing business. Now, he didn't end up doing business with any of these people, but it shows the evil genius that 50 Cent is. He likes to meddle and get in between and find out everything he can about these situations. Because, you know, he had a problem with Camron at the time. He had a problem with D Block before, Fat Joe, and Jim Jones. Obviously, we know that. Later on, after he took a meeting with Jim Jones, years later, Max B left. He had some kind of problem with Jim Jones around that time. So does 50 Cent stick his head in too many other people's business? Now, he had his own issues at G Unit. G Unit kind of fell apart, you know, just for different reasons. The game already was going to go against G Unit before he even signed. Jim Jones revealed that. And with, you know, Tony Yayo and Lloyd Banks, I guess Lloyd Banks didn't feel like he was getting the proper support, which he was, but he's a little spoiled. And Olivia just wasn't going to make it. But and Young Buck's just crazy. He has his own internal issues. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Let me know what you guys think below. Let's discuss this. Peace.